Hey guys, my name is Thor, and this is my introduction video. Mostly, I guess I'll use this channel for like rants about things and things. I don't know. Yeah. So, what should I say? I don't know. I guess I should tell you things I like to give you an idea of what some of the things I'll talk about. I like comics and anime. I like animation in general, actually. Especially, I actually really like stop motion. Like any film that's stop motion, I'll like pretty much buy. So, um, yeah, I like animation. What else? That's all I got. That's all I do. I'm homeschooled. I'm 17. It feels so weird to say I'm 17. I don't feel 17. I like hiking and I like nature. I like dinosaurs and paleontology. I like museums. Any museum, I'll go to it. I like it. But I don't know. I like learning about I kind of like learning about like oppression in a sense, like kind of, and not necessarily like things that everybody knows, but things that are oppressed things and like everyday things and how that affects people and stuff like that. I really like sociology a lot. Um, Pretty much if I'm like out with people, I'm like, if I like you, we're probably just hanging out because I like you, but also because I kind of like use everything to analyze stuff. I like to analyze people and what they do and things like that. What else? Oh yeah. I guess I should bring this up since we'll probably talk about it. As far as how I identify as my sexuality, I identify as a queer, pan-romantic gray A. And I'll explain all that for you if you don't want to type that into Google. Which actually you probably should too, because you know when you like learn something in a textbook and then you go to take the test and you like write your definition for the word and it makes no sense. That's pretty much me. I'm like, I'm not a good person to ask questions to. But basically, if someone asked me like off the street what my sexuality was, I'd probably just say queer because that's much easier like to explain. Or actually, I probably would just say like I don't know what I would, no like really if someone asked me on the street, I don't know what I would say because for some people queer is like a derogatory term and I don't want to like upset anyone. Um, so as far as like pan-romantic gray A means, actually wait, let me get like a correct definition. But like basically, gray has a lot to do with asexuality. Like it's kind of here. Okay, so I looked up gray on the Avid wiki, which you should look up too, and it says asexuality and sexuality are not black and white. Some people identify in the gray area between them. People who identify as gray can include but are not included to those who do not normally experience sexual attraction but do experience sometimes, which is basically me. Yeah. And experience sexual attraction but a low sex drive. Like, yeah, I think that's definitely. Hold on. And there's different ones that you should definitely like look it up. I think it. Everybody, I don't really understand people who like don't want to learn about everything. Like I don't really understand people like that. So when I try to explain something to someone and I'm like, oh look that up, and they're like, no, I don't want to learn about that. And I'm like, that's like seriously what my face looks like. I'm just like what? So yeah. And as far as my gender goes, I identify as a genderqueer femme trans guy. Probably. I'm trying to figure out how to explain the whole thing. So I probably dominantly identify with genderqueer, but I used to just identify with genderqueer, and I was like, and I've seen people who identify as like a genderqueer girl or genderqueer boy, like whatever, and I didn't really understand that because I was like, well, if your gender is genderqueer, then how can you have two genders? Like I didn't really understand that. So I was like, oh, so are you like bi gender? Like I wasn't really unsure. I was unsure of what that meant. But then like when I started to like try to find my own gender, I realized exactly what they meant. Like I feel like my dominant gender, as like what everybody wants to call them, is what society I think definitely deals out. I feel male, but I know like I feel more male than anything, but I also know that I feel genderqueer as well. So genderqueer is like for gender, like when people say they're queer in their sexuality, that like to me that means like not straight. So if someone says they're genderqueer, like basically I feel like that means like not default. Does that make sense? Like not default, like not what society says you are, kind of. So it's a very wide umbrella. So and the femme I attach to that because I do feel like a lot of times um, people expect trans guys to be super macho. Like I don't know why society feels that way. I don't know if they're like, oh well, you need to overcompensate or something, or they're like, oh well, you got to be a girl for for some of your life, so you shouldn't want to do girly things or something. So I think it was kind of important for me to attach the femme to my label because I'm very femme, if you cannot tell. So um, yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna talk about today. I'll talk more on these other subjects later. So I hope you guys stick around or whatever. Bye.